Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Gamers County. Now, today I'm, like I said before, I'm actually going to be diving in and out of this anime thing. And as I already told you guys, you already know I'm a really big fan of the Pokemon series. So today I'm going real deep into this one. Now, the biggest thing on everybody's mind seems to be is, will Ash win the Kalos League and become Kalos champion? And will this lead to the end of the series altogether? Okay, as we know, Pokemon is celebrating its 20th anniversary and thus is giving away 12 mystical Pokemon, which have been revealed each for the next 11 months. So yeah, bear with me here. I'm going to specifically talk about the potential of Ash's Pokemon beating the Kalos League. Now, as we already know, Pikachu was Ash's first Pokemon, although not originally his first choice, even though he originally wanted to choose Squirtle. So he got this little chubby yellow mouse with an attitude and decided to shock Ash, even for the simple fact of him picking him up. Okay. Now, as the series progressed, we already know that Ash's Pikachu developed feelings for Ash as Ash tried to save it from a flock of Spearows who tried to, beat the crap out of Pikachu. So, as the series progressed, we know Pikachu faced multiple legendary Pokemon, has beaten Team Rocket countless times, and has beaten numbers of gyms. And to top it all off, Pikachu's resolve is that it can beat any Pokemon without evolving. Now, for those of you who specifically don't believe what this resolve meant, it actually meant that Pikachu had no intention of allowing Ash to force it or give it the stone to make the choice on its own. Now, should Pikachu have made that decision, the entire series would have gone a lot differently than it did, but that's not the case. Now, further down the line, now Ash's second Pokemon, which I'm not going in order here, so bear with me. Ash's second Pokemon, Hawlucha, which is actually the first fighting and flying type, which was introduced in Gen 6. We know that part. Now, Hawlucha was Ash's, I believe, fourth Pokemon. Yeah, fourth Pokemon, and actually made it well known for itself after Ash said it would train with him so it could be a lot stronger and beat the rampaging Ursaring that it was while it was trying to terrorize younger and smaller Pokemon. Now, as we know that Hawlucha actually have a prideful manner and are actually willing to go to bat for anybody that they see that are in danger, regardless of their mannerisms or not. Now, as we saw, Hawlucha easily beat Ursaring, although it didn't look like it at first, it did manage to beat it. Now, as we know that Ursaring stand at about, say, 6 feet tall, and Hawlucha is about maybe 3'5". So given the credit that this little dude is actually capable of getting away with such agile and fully loaded arsenal of attacks, both offensive and defensive, this Pokemon is actually pretty boss. Next, we're going on Ash's Talonflame. Now, as we know, Ash's Talonflame is not really one of many, but the few Pokemon that Ash has had, other than Pikachu and Charizard and Sceptile, which this Pokemon actually is Ash's only Pokemon to actually I think, in my opinion, the first region to actually face a legendary Pokemon and not sustain a large amount of damage due to the fact that it evolved prior to the fight. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because Talonflame, even though it's sustained a lot of damage from Moltres, the fact that its will and its resolve from Ash really opened its heart. And given the fact that Talonflame is just like Staraptor, it learned how to use Brave Bird, it's pretty agile on its feet, pretty aggressive in its attack format, this actually proves that if there's ever a time where Talonflame is needed, it has no problem with being called on by Ash. Now, before I get to the next Pokemon, as you all know that Ash's Pokemon count is actually at 5, not 6, due to the fact that Ash released Goodra so it could join its friends and be happy once more, which was pretty dumb in my opinion. But next is Ash's newly hatched Noibat, which we seen in the Korokoro issues last year, would actually specify that Noibat would evolve into Noivern and would have a certain ability that has not been seen yet in the series. Of course, as many of you already know who have played X and Y, you have that ability, which is known as Boom Burst. So, although it did not specify what type of ability that this would be, or type of attack, I should say, it definitely brought out the opening point for the possibilities of Noibat joining Ash in the Kalos League. Now, finally, I have Ash's Greninja. Now, Ash's Greninja is actually was the actual first Pokemon that Ash caught in the region. After befriending it, helping it defeat Team Rocket, and from then on became good friends. Now, although we don't know much about Ash Greninja at the moment, as time progresses, I really think that we're going to probably get something between now and, say, May. But as of right now, it stands that Ash Greninja is considered a Mega Evolution, because as in Pokemon X, Y, and Z Episode 13, where Ash faces Elaine, he has a Mega Evolution meter which goes off and points him towards Greninja, which makes him believe that either Sceptile or Greninja is the Mega Evolution holding Pokemon. Now, although it lost to Elaine and Charizard X, is really pretty boss that Ash Greninja can hold its own against a Pokemon of such sheer power. Now, granted, I think that the fact that Ash Greninja really had an advantage, and the fact that speed was the most noticeable boosted power level that Ash Greninja had, I think the fact that while Greninja had speed, Charizard had power and speed, which really kind of throws off the fact that, Greninja, being that it just received this new form, really didn't know too much about it, and this ultimately led to its defeat. So now you know that out of all 5 of Ash's Pokemon, the chances of him winning this league are actually 50-50, due to the fact that it's been a running gag and also a shame that Ash has not won considerable region leagues since the beginning of the series. He's been making 3rd place, 2nd place, 4th, 5th, and 6th place, and still has remained to keep a smile on his face and confident that he will be a Pokemon Master, regardless if he loses or not. Now, will we get something at the end of the series? I don't think so. Will he win and end the series? I don't think so. But depending on if Ash catches a 6th Pokemon, and depending who that 6th Pokemon is, I think that's where the game changer might be. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time back in Gamers County.